Hey everyone, welcome back to another Quantum League video. This is just going to be a bunch of tips and tricks that are pulled from various games. What I'll do is I'll show you a small highlight, maybe go back and forth a couple times, replay it, and then we'll just let the rest of the video play out while I talk about it. So the first tip I want to give you, and this is just really a fundamental of first-person shooters, and I really don't want to be insulting your intelligence by pointing this out, but I just feel that I have to because I play against so many people that don't do this. You almost always have to be playing behind cover. So some of you will be rolling your eyes going, ugh, I know this, but I just have to point this out anyway. There are some people who will, once they kill their opponent, they'll sort of just stand in the middle, not worry about cover or anything like that. Just completely unaware that in the following rounds, they're out in the open and they're a sitting duck. Take this example here. So if he comes off high ground and I'm hiding behind this barrier here, I'm peeking out to the right, getting a little bit of damage off here and there. I jump up, get some more damage, and by the time it comes to contest the point, he's on barely any health and I'm on max HP. And of course this isn't even taking into consideration that my number 2 and 3 can easily take him down as well. So here's a couple more examples of me using cover effectively. See, I'm sort of popping in and out when I can, just randomly, and then last second heading towards the point. And another one, this one's a little bit more long range, but of course even if he were to kill my number 1 with his number 2, his number 1 is out in the open for my number 2 to easily kill. But I digress. Anyway, so what I want to show in this little segment here is how I'm using my own clone as a body blocking tool. I'm effectively using it as cover. You see, I'm letting the number 1 take the hits while I aim his number 2. So the current clone is the clone that you should be aiming for, because that's the one that is actively aiming to try and kill you. And you see, once I kill the 2, I quickly turn my attention to number 1. So you can use your own clone to body block, that's fine. Or in this example, which I pulled from a previous video of mine, I actually use his own clones to body block for me in order to try shoot around them. So body blocking is a pretty effective technique that you should try use as much as you can. It actually comes up quite a bit more than what you'd think, especially in the last couple seconds when everybody's scrambling to get onto the point. So I just want to talk a little bit about positioning in this round. So I move off to the left and I quickly spot his 3 going to the back right, my back right health pack. I sort of leave him to do that and kill his number 2 after he picks up that health pack. And now I move to the middle. I don't actually bother with cover because I know exactly where his 3 is and I'm not in any danger of dying. But I'm positioning myself between where he is and where he needs to be. So this is another example of my positioning and using that cover to prevent him from getting to the point. I get a few shots off on him, but I make sure to turn around and to finish off his clone that's on the point. The thing to keep in mind here is I'm not actually wanting to go full aggro on him. I want to take it slow and effectively just waste his time. So I'm being very careful not to die here, and that's my main objective, is just to waste time, stay alive. And if it goes into overtime, that's actually not too much of a big deal, because we're both on my side of the map, so it gives me a little bit of an advantage over him. So once again, I'm just positioning myself between him and the objective. Okay, so now let's talk about one of my favourite, most satisfying things to do in this game, and that's pre-firing. So I get some pretty good shots off on this guy, and I take him down, and I'm only at half health. So right now, let's just pause the game and predict right now, what do you think he's going to do? I mean, there's only a few things he can do, really. One of which, and the most obvious being, is he's going to grab that health pack right behind him. So because I know that he's going to be picking up that health pack, I start laying into him as soon as he picks it up. Alternatively, I could have started firing a few moments before, because the important thing to remember in this game is that the bullets aren't hit scan, which means that there's a little bit of time from when you pull the trigger to when the bullet actually hits the target. So this essentially means that you need to be aiming a little bit in front of your target. It's called leading your shots. A few other games had this, like Halo 1 and Halo 3 had this, so it's quite common practice for some first-person shooters to have it. Being able to predict your opponent's movements is crucial to this game. So when you kill them, you need to know roughly how long it will take for them to get to the health pack, And this is essentially learnt just through playing the game. You'll play it again and again and again, and you'll start to get a feeling of how long it takes for someone to run and pick up a health pack. When you get really good at it, you'll see in a few of these clips, I'm able to kill someone, they resync, and then they're dead, all within just like less than a second. Hugely effective tactic to learn. And of course keep in mind that the SMG isn't the only weapon that you can pre-fire with. The grenade launcher is just as effective.
There go incredible foresight.
And here comes the fun part of countering against that pre-firing strategy. So over the course of a couple games with Ballsy Raccoon, he obviously picked up on the tactic of pre-firing, and he tried to do it to me right here. However, yeah, that's right. So all you do is just merely delay picking up the health pack and just pick it up in your own time. So also in this situation, he's on half health as well. So he needs to have enough time to run back, get that health pack, and then go to the point. Or alternatively, he would just run directly to the point, but then he's on half health and my clone is on full health. Or another really cheeky tactic that you can use, if you've got enough time and you die early on in the round, because they're going to be waiting for you to pick up your own health pack, you can actually forget your own and just run directly to their health pack and pick it up before they do. So there's a little bit of risk involved with that, especially in the earlier rounds, but that's something to keep in mind, is that you can always just go to a different health pack. And then what I found a little bit funny is at the end of this, he picks up that health pack with his 3, but his number 2, because of that pre-firing, he ends up taking damage from himself, helping me win the duel. Now what was kind of funny is in this round here, I managed to kill him, and I know what health pack he's obviously going to go towards, and I think this is going to be a great example of some pre-firing, and it'll be great for the video. However, I completely missed the fact that 2 of his clones are already on the point, and I could just get a little bit too distracted, and he wins that way. And that is actually a great segue into what I want to talk about next. So I've actually already made a video on this. If you want, I'll link it in the description, and I think I should be able to put something up above. So click on that and watch that after this video, but I'll quickly reiterate it here. And of course it all has to... you know what? Hold on just a moment. Let's get the whiteboard out. We'll put this here. Alright. Class is in session. So there is a great, shall we say, a mathematical equation on how to win this game. I'm not the one that discovered this, it's a matter of the Quantum League community. I think they spent probably hundreds of hours trying to figure this out. But if we just bring up the equation now, so it's P equals W. For the more astute individuals out there, you may have been able to figure it out already, but let's give the rest of the class time to catch up. So we'll start at the end of the equation. W here stands for win, and then you've got P is for point. So if we just put it all together, it means point equals win. And that's basically it. You can boil this entire game down to just one simple formula with 2 variables, point and win. If you're not on the point, then you don't win. So let's just run through a few examples, and we'll keep this formula in mind while we watch them. So let's go back to the final couple seconds of that last clip. So I'm on barely any health, and I just managed to take out that clone right in front of me, but unfortunately my number 1 isn't on the point, so I don't actually score, and we instead go into overtime. If I was on the point, I would have won that round. In this other clip here, I get an easy kill on his number 3, and I pick up the health pack to deny it, and I should have just gone straight to point. The consequences of me getting this other health pack is that I wasn't able to finish off his number 2, which would have resulted in a win. And so it's not only important for you to get your number 3 on the point, but you want as many clones on the point as possible. More clones on the point means that it's more likely that you're going to win the round. So in this clip here, my number 1 doesn't manage to get on the point, and you might think, you know, that's not a big deal, but let's skip to the end of round 3. He manages to take my number 3 out with moments to spare, and obviously if my number 1 was on the point, well, you know, point equals win. And I've just got countless examples of me losing the round or just winning the round because I managed to get one of my clones on the point. So once again, you need to get all your clones on the point. It's the most important thing that you can do. And with that, I guess that sort of wraps up this video. If you like the sort of content I'm making, I mean, I never actually thought that I would be doing this, but, you know, feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. It just feels weird saying that. But honestly, feel free to do any of those things. I've already bumped into a few people who have seen my videos and they've made comments when I've come up against them, so, you know, always feel free to say hi. And if anybody has any requests or any types of videos that they want me to do, then, you know, feel free to let me know and I'll see what I can do. It can be anything from tactics, more gameplay breakdown, or just anything, you know, let me know. But until then, we'll see you in the next one, eh? Bye-bye.